Hey everyone, my name is Jen and this is Jen Geigley Knits, and welcome to the 12th day of Vlogmas. It is Tuesday, December 12th, and I have been doing a lot of work this morning, but then I took a break and stopped to make a special treat that I have not had since I was a kid. It's a special holiday treat that my grandma made pretty much every year. I remember them every Christmas. So I grew up eating these, but I haven't had them probably since she passed away when I was in like junior high. So there's something nostalgic about making some of these older treats that are traditional. This is a Swedish traditional holiday treat cookie, and my grandparents are Norwegian and German and Swedish, and so we just kind of do all the Scandinavian things. But yeah, I haven't had this since I was a kid. We grew up eating lefse and kringla and all those things. And today, I'm very proud of myself because for the first time, I made rosettes. And they probably have to be the prettiest cookie you can make. And yes, I'm very excited that I gave it a try because that was my first time. So rosettes are made using an iron. Sorry, that was loud. And you have these little attachments, and that's what makes the pretty shapes. And you just screw them on, and then it's a fried thing, and it's like similar to like a funnel cake, I would say. If you like churros and funnel cakes, it's similar to that. And I think some people make a glaze. I've heard of like a lemon glaze, but my grandma always just dusted them with powdered sugar, and so that's what I think is the right way. The way that I wanted to make them. And so yeah, you just you make a quick batter that's very, very simple. You heat up your iron in some oil. It's like you have to kind of get into the groove, and then things go really quickly and nicely. It's really kind of fun, but also messy because frying. But I did it, and I'm really proud of myself, and they turned out really cute, and they taste the right way from what I remember. And I'm just really excited because I made rosettes this year, and I'm excited to have my kids try these and to see what they think, because they've never had these before, and to see if my family will think it's weird or cool or delicious or not. But the rosette irons are pretty easy to find. There's like the Scandinavian brands that carry this, and then there's lots of vintage ones in like thrift stores and probably on eBay and stuff like that. But this is just like a Nordic wear, I think, or whatever set. And yeah, you just have to get into you have to like set up the paper towels and make a little drip area, because there's a lot of dripping passing the dipping and the back and forth. And it's, yeah, I just cleaned my kitchen and it took a minute, but I got my technique down. You basically have to have a very hot iron, so it has to be in the oil for like a minute, and then you move over to the bowl, and you don't dunk the iron all the way into the batter. You go just a little bit below, like a little more than halfway, like 3/4 of the way up the mold, and then you move it back to the oil. It goes psh, fries, and then the cookie will fall off this way off the iron and then float there, and then you flip it, and then you move it to paper towels. And it's a very fast process, so you really have to pay attention and concentrate and focus on what you're doing, because they get brown really fast, then you flip them really fast, then you get them out really fast, or they will burn and then they won't taste good. And so this is why I did this activity while my kids are at school, because I was thinking, I'm like, did I ever make these with my grandma? And I don't think I did. And it's because of the hot oil. And it is, you know, you gotta pay attention and not burn the house down and be careful. So not really a kid cookie to make, but I'm sure they'll enjoy them. And I hope they like them because I made a whole plate of them. Here they are. That is just one batch. And when you make the batter, it seems like you're not making that much. Aren't they pretty, by the way? Look how pretty. There's like stars, and the other ones look like flowers or snowflakes. And then dusted with the powdered sugar. I think they're so pretty. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, one batch just makes kind of a little bit of batter, but don't be tempted to double it because it goes so far. Like, I don't know how many I ended up with, a couple dozen at least. And it just goes forever because it's a thinner batter and you can dip it a million times. So I wouldn't double your recipe. I would just make one batch because it makes a lot. Also, I think in Mexico, there is this very similar, or maybe it's exactly the same, a cookie called buñuelos. And I think it sometimes has just a slightly different shape, but it might be exactly the same. And the Swedish version is called Rosettes, and there's buñuelos. So I'm excited. That's pretty much my big activity of the day, but I'm super proud of my Rosettes, and I'm excited for my family to get home later today so they can try them and see what they think. So last year on my Vlogmas, I made Norwegian lefse, and I do have like the giant lefse iron and the stick and that whole thing. And I kind of want to make that again. I really enjoy eating lefse during the holidays. But let me know if you're interested in seeing that. If you don't care, no big deal. But it's fun to try to make these traditional Norwegian things that I grew up eating every single holiday. Thanksgiving, Christmas, my grandma would just make them in the summer. Like, she was an amazing cook and made all the treats always, but it's very nostalgic and I like to bring it back and continue the traditions and see what my family thinks of these foods. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you want me to make lefse, because I'll totally do it, but I'm on the fence. So, I mean, I don't have to make it, but if there's a day coming up that I feel like making it, I'll probably make it. But it is kind of a whole thing, getting out all the things and like making the dough, and you make it a day ahead and let it sit overnight and all the stuff. But I mean, I'll probably be doing it because it's really delicious. If you want my Rosettes recipe that I used, I'm sure it's the same or similar everywhere, but it's very simple, and I'll put it in the comments or in the notes. It was 2 eggs, a cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of sugar, a cup of milk, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of salt, and then cooking oil, which I used canola oil, and then a dusting of the powdered sugar. That's really it. It's very, very simple, except for like getting in your rhythm and getting it to work properly. And then it takes a couple tries and then you get a good one. You're like, okay, I got this. If you have favorite treats or recipes for the holidays, please leave them down below because I love checking out what everybody else is making this season. Let's make some rosettes. So pretty and so delicious. I guess the only other thing I have today is the Advents, and I've made the executive decision to not do the timestamps and the announcing of the spoiler alert and all that stuff anymore, because I figure this far into the month, I'm probably not spoiling anything, or if you have the exact same Advents I do, maybe you've already looked at them before you watch this. And it's just kind of a pain to do the timestamps, so I'm not gonna do it anymore. So this is the last time I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna open my Chelsea yarns, and it's December 12th. Earlier, I was positive it was December 11th, but it's totally the 12th. And today's is Hudson Yards, which I have definitely visited. There's the giant sculpture called the Vessel. It's almost like a funnel shape, and it's like a little wavy. And the first time I went, when it just opened, I did a reservation, and Lotus was like 13, I think. And Lotus and I got to walk up in it. And I don't know if they still do that, but it was amazing. It was very cool. Anyway, Hudson Yards, if it's based on the Vessel color, I would say it's kind of a rust color, or it's almost like a bronzy or a rose gold. That's my guess, is like one of those like reddish, pinkish, orangey, I'm not sure, tones. I'm trying to remember in my head. It was like, it kind of glimmers in the sun. It's like metallic. So anyway, Hudson Yards. Let's see. Cool. It's like a pinky, pretty color. Yeah, I can see that, because it is almost like a rose gold when you're up in it. And it's just this giant, it's huge. I'll put a picture of it in case you haven't seen it, but I'm sure you've probably seen it. But yeah, this is Hudson Yards, day 12. I almost said Hudson Yarns. You know, same thing. And then I'm gonna do Magpie Fibers. And the 12th is a big box. Number 12. Sorry. It feels like yarn. I don't know. They're very tricky because it doesn't always match the box size. It is yarn. This is Cancer. My really good friend Emily is a Cancer, so yay. Oh, it's very Cancer. Like very aquatic, minty blue with like some yellow, some purple, like a blue purple periwinkle color. This is so pretty. I really like that. It's almost like mermaid colors. That's so pretty. I need to lay these out soon to see everything together, because I keep putting them back in the boxes, but I really want to see all these together, and I want to see all the New Yorks together. The Chelsea Yarn New York set. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I do think I am gonna make a sea glass tee. I think I'm not even gonna keep the sets together. I don't even care about that. At the end of all this, I'm gonna put them all out on a table and pick my favorites that could go as stripes in the sea glass tee, because I think that would just be really fun and a good use of all the Advent yarn. So that's kind of my plan. And then I already said I'm gonna make New York socks out of the New York stuff, but that'll go into the sea glass tee too, because socks won't take that much, but that's my loose plan. I did not do my stocking Arne and Carlos knit along knitting last night because I was knitting on my yellow sweater for La Bien Aimée, but I'm hoping to get caught up tonight on Arne and Carlos, because I don't like to go more than 2 days at a time to catch up, because it kind of adds up too fast. And so tonight I'll probably do yesterday's and today's just to keep up on it, and then hopefully I'll see something emerge in the pattern, which is really fun to see each stripe kind of come together. And I'm sure right in the middle of the leg is going to be something exciting. Other than that, I think that might be it for this afternoon at least. Anyway, I'm having a ton of fun this Vlogmas, and I hope you are too. Thank you for hanging out with me while I bake cookies or do whatever our family is doing each day. I really appreciate that you're here. I read all your comments. I love hearing what you have to say and your stories and your ideas and your questions and all that stuff. I just love sharing back and forth and sharing this holiday season with you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe if you'd like to see more, and in the meantime, have a great week, happy knitting, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!